In 480 BC, a small Greek army stood in the path of one of the largest forces the ancient world had ever seen. The Persian Empire had invaded Greece. Thousands of soldiers, archers, cavalry, warriors from across a vast empire. Against them stood only a few thousand Greek defenders. Among them, just 300 Spartans. By every measure, this battle should have ended quickly, but it did not. For days, the Persian army failed to break the Greek line. Wave after wave of attacks collapsed against a single formation, a wall of shields, a forest of spears. This formation was called the Phalanx, and in the hands of Sparta, it became one of the most feared battlefield tactics in the ancient world. But how could a simple line of soldiers hold back an entire army? To understand that, we must first understand how the Spartans fought. Sparta was unlike any other Greek city. Most Greek states valued trade, politics, or philosophy. Sparta valued only one thing: war. From childhood, Spartan boys were trained to become soldiers. At the age of 7, they left their families and entered a brutal training system called the agoge. Life in the agoge was harsh. Food was scarce. Punishment was severe. Weakness was not tolerated. The goal was simple: create warriors who would never break in battle. By the time Spartan men reached adulthood, they had trained for more than a decade. But the most important lesson they learned was not individual skill. It was discipline. Discipline in formation. Because the Spartan army did not fight as individuals, it fought as a single machine. The core of Spartan warfare was the Phalanx, a tightly packed formation of heavily armed soldiers. Each warrior carried a large, round shield, the hoplon. When soldiers stood shoulder to shoulder, their shields overlapped. Each shield protected the man beside it. Together they formed a continuous defensive wall. Behind the shields, each soldier held a long spear, the dory. The front line attacked directly, but the rows behind them could also thrust their spears forward, over the shoulders of the men in front. To the enemy, it looked like a forest of spear points, advancing slowly, relentlessly. Breaking such a formation was incredibly difficult. But the Phalanx was not just defensive, it was designed to move. When two phalanxes collided, battle became a brutal contest of strength. Shields slammed together, spears thrust forward, warriors pushed with their entire body weight. This tactic was called othismos, the shove. Hundreds of soldiers pressing forward as one. The goal was simple: break the enemy formation. If even a small gap opened in the line, the entire formation could collapse. And once that happened, the battle usually ended quickly. But maintaining such a formation required incredible discipline. One soldier breaking formation could expose the entire line, which is why Spartan discipline became legendary. For a Spartan soldier, the shield was more important than any other weapon. A sword could be replaced. A spear could break. But the shield protected the entire formation. Ancient writers claim that Spartan mothers told their sons, "Return with your shield, or on it." Meaning victory, or death, but never retreat. Because the Phalanx only worked if every soldier trusted the man beside him. That discipline turned Spartan formations into some of the most reliable forces in the Greek world. In 480 BC, the Persian king Xerxes launched an invasion of Greece. His army was enormous. Ancient writers described hundreds of thousands of soldiers. Though the real number was likely smaller, the Persian army still vastly outnumbered the Greeks. The Greek defenders chose their battlefield carefully. Thermopylae, a narrow mountain pass. Here the Persian army could not surround them. Only a small number of soldiers could attack at once. This was the perfect terrain for the Spartan Phalanx.
When the Persians attacked, the Greek line did not break. Shield met shield, spears struck forward, again and again.
Persian soldiers attacked in waves, but each assault collapsed against the wall of shields. The narrow pass prevented the Persians from using their numbers. Instead, they faced the Spartans in brutal, close combat. Day after day, the Spartan formation held. But eventually, the Persians discovered a hidden path through the mountains, a path that allowed them to move around the Greek defenses. Suddenly, the Spartan force was surrounded. The battle was lost. But the legend had already been written.
The Spartan Phalanx worked because it combined three powerful elements.
Protection. Overlapping shields created a moving fortress. Pressure. Hundreds of soldiers pushing forward together. And discipline. Every warrior trusted the men beside him. For centuries, the Phalanx dominated Greek warfare. Other armies copied it, improved it, and eventually expanded it into even larger formations, including the massive phalanxes used by Alexander the Great. But the foundation of that tactic began with Sparta, with disciplined soldiers, heavy shields, long spears. A formation that turned individual warriors into a single unstoppable force. The Spartan Phalanx was not just a tactic, it was a system. And for generations, it made Spartan warriors some of the most feared soldiers in the ancient world.